Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors like today's guest, Brad Crandall of the Affinity Law Group in St. Louis, Missouri. We help business owners enjoy more personal freedom, grow their companies faster, and transition ownership seamlessly when the time comes. Welcome to the Exit Plan Show, Brad.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here. Yeah, good. We're welcome. You're welcome. First question, could you tell our audience a little bit about your education background and then your career path up till now?
Certainly. Grew up here in St. Louis, Missouri. Went to undergraduate down at what is now Missouri State University. Got a Bachelor of Science in Economics. Came back to St. Louis for law school. Went to Washington University. Graduated 2001. So started my practice about 14 years ago now, I guess. Started off at a large law firm downtown St. Louis doing corporate securities work, mergers and acquisitions for larger companies. After about 3 years, decided I'd rather go to a little smaller, more entrepreneurial firm, so I made a move. Worked there for a few years, and then in 2007, with 3 other partners, we started Affinity Law Group to really work with the smaller to middle market privately held companies and their kinds of issues that arise with those types of companies.
Okay, good. We just met. You were referred to me by Brian Griff.
Yeah.
I don't know you that well. Could you tell me how your friends who know you best, how they describe you personally?
I think people would say I'm a good family man. Attorney's jobs takes a lot of time up, but I try and spend as much time as I can with my wife and my children. Inside the office, I think people would say I'm trustworthy. Lots of integrity, that's important in our job.
Right.
Fun-loving, but work very hard. So that's a mixture we have to work on, but but it works out well, I think.
Okay, good. Tell us a little bit more about Affinity Law Group, different areas of practice, that type of thing.
So we formed Affinity Law Group really to focus on privately held companies, their owners, their executives, really from all phases of the business's life. So we do startups all the way through the growth of entities, financing. I do a lot of mergers and acquisitions work myself. So in addition to the sell side deals and the exit strategies for current owners, we do a lot of the acquisition side on the other side of the table. So the issues are the same. It's just which side you're really pushing for. So our firm really represents companies in all aspects. We do labor and employment. We do high-level estate planning, tax planning, executive compensation, benefits, those types of things. We do some business litigation. Try not to focus on it too much.
Have to sometimes.
You have to sometimes when you represent companies, either to protect or enforce their legal rights. So it's really a well-rounded firm, only 12 lawyers, but it's a very kind of a boutique business law firm, so we represent businesses and their owners. Okay.
What do you think would differentiate you from some of the other law firms in St. Louis?
You know, my partners and I, we are business people. We're entrepreneurs. We started the firm with that in mind. We just happen to have a business that sells legal services as opposed to products or some other service. So when we are working with owners, whether that's on the day-to-day legal work or on an exit of the business, we really try to focus on what the business owner's thinking and think of it in the eyes of a business owner as opposed to just a legal technician. You know? And we have run across several firms on the other side of transactions, which I think lose sight of that sometimes. And so we think our clients really appreciate that approach.
Okay. And then you personally, what do you like to do the most at Affinity Law Group? Is there any one thing if you could concentrate on it all the time?
Yeah, really the mergers and acquisitions work that we do, whether that's a buy or a sell side, is a lot of times the most important transaction in these clients' lives. They're great business people. A lot of times they've built up a great business, but they might only sell once.
Right.
So that's a very important task that we take on, and I think about that a lot when these deals are going on, is that this is the most important thing maybe this person's ever had happen in their life, other than maybe some family matters.
Right.
And so that's something I'm proud of, and I enjoy it a lot.
My next question is, where do you get the energy to do all this? But you may just answer that. You just like helping business owners.
I like helping the business owners, but it's also enjoyable. You know, these people who have built up a great business and are ready to move on, whether that's a sale to a third party or a sale to the management team or transition downstream to the next generation of their families. A lot of them are the smartest, most forward business people I've ever met. And so, you know, I get some energy from them soaking in their ideas as much as I'm giving them. And, you know, but the more than I learn from one deal, I'm able to apply it to the next.
Right.
And,
well, it helps you with your own business too, I'm sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we get to serve on some boards and get to sit in some meetings talking about some of the strategic plans with some of these companies if they're getting ready to sell is invaluable.
Right.
As far as gathering the way smart people and forward-looking people think about things.
Yeah, okay. And the last question, we help business owners find a way to maybe enjoy a little more personal freedom, like you mentioned, family time, maybe get away from the business a little bit. Sometimes that's hard for some business owners. We also help them through the guests we interview grow their companies faster, and then we help them transition ownership, either sale to a third party or, you know, into a family member or key employee group. And then more recently, we've gotten more involved in helping business owners kind of redefine their life's purpose, because a lot of times when they sell their company, they feel like they've given up their identity, so they're looking for something else to, you know, for their future. If you could give one tip and pick any one of those 4 areas, what would that be to a business owner?
So I guess if I give one point of advice, and we talk to our clients about this a lot, is if you're even starting to think that a transition is coming in the future, is to get started as soon as possible getting ready for it. And by that I mean, you know, cleaning up your corporate books, trying to get as many personal liabilities out of your company's financial statements as possible, so that a third-party buyer might come in is not having to deal with those types of issues, and cleaning up the balance sheet, those types of items. It might be trying to secure long-term contracts with customers so that there's some better assurances that the business will survive in the future. And you know, another thing we come across a lot is non-compete, non-solicitation agreements with the key employees. That it's a lot easier to get that done when you're not under a time crunch or some pressure to get it done. And so that just makes the transition that much smoother. When it's time to move forward, you've taken care of a lot of the legwork in advance, and it can add value to the company as well as just make the process much easier.
Okay, good advice. Thank you. That was Brad Crandall. He's with Affinity Law Group. For more information about Brad and his firm, please check out the show notes on this episode at our website. Thank you.